Chris Furnari here for Brewbound at the future home of Evil Twin Brewing in Queens, New York. And I am here with Evil Twin Brewing founder Jeppe. We'll totally butcher the rest of your name, so I'll have you give it for me.
Jarnit-Bjergsø.
Jeppe.
Say that fast 10 times.
I won't be able to. I'm not even going to try. Jeppe, we're here at the future home of Evil Twin Brewing. Prior to doing this project here, you were a bit of a gypsy brewer, a nomadic brewer. Talk to me about the decision to kind of change up your business model and a little bit about sort of the project here and what you got going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to be a gypsy brewer. I'm not going to take away what's already happening. So I kind of explain this as an add-on to what I'm already doing. I mean, I moved to New York 6-ish years ago to move the brand to the USA, to start making beer over here. Since we were selling pretty much all of it over here, we needed the extra capacity. And since I moved to New York, I had this idea, or lush, or whatever you call it, to open a brewery eventually in New York. I wanted to make New York my city. I wanted to make Evil Twin a New York brand. And I think the most natural step to do that is to have a physical location. People kind of see us as a New York brand because we've been here for a while, and people know that the business is based in New York. We don't brew in New York, and I think that's the last step we needed to make it a real New York brand, to have an actual brewery here. So, yeah, we got this space way too long ago, a couple of years ago. We've had a lot of delays. I mean, we're doing the whole thing ourselves. It's just my wife and I. We're paying for the whole thing, and you have to consider a lot of things when you do that. So we've had a lot of delays, but finally it seems to be moving in the right direction.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about how you're financing the project, and I guess just your thoughts on kind of rolling up your sleeves and doing things yourself in general in the brewing world. How did you get the money to build out a space like this? We walk through. It's pretty bare bones right now. But
It is. I mean, obviously we have a bank loan. We have an SBA, which is a small business state loan that is very hard to get, but it's a very good loan to get. We had to put our house at stake and everything, so it's not something you do unless you believe in what you actually do, because you can lose your house if you fail.
And what gives you the confidence in today's marketplace with craft beer sales slowing a bit to know that this is the right decision?
I mean, there's the aspect of being able to sell directly to the consumer that we have never had. Profit is definitely way higher when you do that, and I know we have a lot of followers out there. We are actually growing. The four first month this year has been our 4th best ever. So we're still growing, which is a good sign that people still want Evil Twin. So that obviously gives you a lot of confidence. We've been growing every year since we started and seem to still be growing. So that obviously gives you a lot of confidence to do what you do. But also, I'm a risk taker. I've taken a lot of risk in my life, and I don't feel you can achieve anything if you don't take any risks. I was a school teacher 7-8 years ago, and I always say, if this fails, I can always become a school teacher again. It's not the worst thing you can be. So
yeah, you've been outspoken in the past and recently about just kind of the importance of being independent. Talk to me about your thoughts on the way that the industry's evolved in the last few years, with more and more larger breweries acquiring smaller companies, private equity getting involved in the space. What concerns do you have about that? And I guess, what's sort of your vision of the future of craft here in the United States?
I mean, my biggest concern, I don't like when people sell their company, but again, each to their own. If Wicked Weed wants to sell to AB InBev, they probably have their reasons for it. They did. They announced it. People turned their back against it, and that was pretty much it. Nobody talks about Wicked Weed anymore, and they probably don't care. They got their money. My concern is that the industry, in some ways, are moving towards, kind of a dishonest industry where we don't really know what's going on, and people don't really want to talk about it, and sometimes you hear about rumors about some things, and you're like, really? Is that what's happening? Did they really do that? I had no idea. To me, the honesty is like the big part of it, where I really feel like if people make decisions that affect their business and the way they present themselves to the consumer, they have to be honest about it, because the consumer needs to be, deserves to be able to take a stand. I definitely want to do that. There's stuff I don't want to support out there. There's breweries I don't want to support. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where do you draw the line? I mean, it seems like you have an even firmer stance, perhaps, than the Brewers Association on this issue.
I mean, drawing a line is a hard thing to say, because again, I'm not going to tell people you can't do this and you can't do that. And I think for myself, I draw a line where I'm not going to take any investment. I mean, I don't. Like, personal investments from friends would be fine if I had a friend who's like, hey, can I put some money in so you can build this a little faster, and he's a friend of mine. But I would never, like, private equity, I wouldn't do it, because I know how it works. Private equity, people might think that it doesn't change anything. Of course it changes everything. Private equity, their goal is to build a business and sell it for double the amount of money, or 5 times the amount of money. So as soon as they go in, they're going to change up things. And people that say, oh, everything is going to be the same, nothing is going to change, that's very naive. Of course it's going to change. Nobody gives you 10, 20, 30, $50 million for free. They want at least that back and more, right?
Right. Banks don't either, though.
What?
Banks don't either.
No, but I know how much I'm paying back, and they definitely don't want me to sell the business, and they definitely don't want me to do anything but paying the money back, And I know exactly how much I'm going to pay back every month for the next 10 years, and that is what it is.
Yeah, there's been some examples where breweries have gotten a little bit out over their skis, taking the debt financing approach. I think about a situation like Green Flash, where even Mike, who started the business, admitted that they should not have funded their secondary brewery with as much debt as they did. How do you walk that sort of tightrope when you're embarking on something completely new for your business? And how do you know I'm not getting too far ahead of myself when I'm building this place out?
I mean, you never really know. I mean, the whole world could turn against Evil Twin tomorrow, and we would never sell another beer, and we would definitely be hurting a lot from that. But again, I like to take chances, and I. To me, the most important thing is to say that I did it, and I took the chance, and I didn't risk anybody else, and I didn't ask for help from anybody else. I mean, yeah, you can say I asked for help for a bank, but that's what banks are here for. They're here to help guys like me, you know what I mean? So, yeah, for me, that's the most important thing, that I did it, and I took the risk, and if I fail, it's only me that failed. I didn't drag anyone down with me, and I feel confident enough in my brand and what I do, and I wake up early every morning, and I do everything with Evil Twin. It's pretty much just me and my wife, and that's important to me. It's important to keep it that way. I enjoy what I do. I'm proud of what I do, and I'm proud of the brand. So,
give us a little glimpse on your vision for what this space behind us will eventually become.
I mean, when I do stuff, I want to. I would definitely want to do it right, and I'm a very competitive guy. I wanted this to be the place people talk about, and we have some cool ideas with the tap room. We're going to do a greenhouse, like a big greenhouse with plants and everything. That's going to be the actual tap room. I want to set it up a little bit different. There's so many tap rooms out there, and every time I go, I kind of feel like they have the same setup. It's all like made for going and beer drinking. We want to. We're already talking to guys about the music. We're talking to guys about the art and the everything. I kind of want to bring that other aspect into it also. Obviously, we want the beer drinkers, but we're going more after the non-beer drinkers, or at least the people that don't care about the brand to drink. The craft beer scene is so big, and people like to line up for the same IPA and all that stuff. I think that is going to die out eventually, and I also don't want to compete on that scene. I mean, Evil Twin is 8 years old. It's considered kind of an old school brand now, and I realize that I can't compete with the other halves and the tree houses and the Trilliums that get all these long lines. And you know what? I don't think I need it, actually. I want the real man to come in and see it for how it is, and not for the brand,
So it's almost like you're kind of starting all over again.
We are kind of. We're actually also going to do a different design profile. The logo is going to be the same, but we added New York City. We want to kind of differentiate those two things, almost kind of like a side brand. I like to challenge myself and to create a new brand. Obviously, it's going to be Evil Twins, so it's not entirely new, but to create a new brand and kind of start all over is very attractive to me, and see if I can kind of build that up again. And I want to give people a special experience. I mean, Evil Twin is worldwide, and people know the brand and they see it out there. So I want to give people that experience of of getting something else when they come in. And I know we're probably going to get a lot of people from Denmark because we get a lot of attention in Denmark and stuff like that. And I want them to experience New York for what it is. My New York. I want to show them my New York. So, for example, our new design profile, we're going to use like real photos on the labels, and it's going to be primarily photos from New York because I'm proud of New York, and I'm not talking about I'm proud of the Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty. I'm proud of what I live in. I live in Bed-Stuy, 10 minutes from here, which is like considered like a rougher neighborhood. I love it. I love the aesthetics. I love the people, and I want to show that to people. I want to show my New York to people, what I've learned to love for the last 6 years.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like Evil Twin is being reborn. And when can we expect this place to open up?
I mean, had you asked me 2 years ago, I would have said a year ago. So right now we are aiming so far, so it looks unfinished, but we are actually moving along nicely. I hope we can start brewing in August and then open sometime in the fall. Again, you can come back in 5 months and say, "Oh, why are you not open yet?" So you never know, but that's the plan. If you don't find, I always say, if you don't find a dead body under the floors, things are looking pretty good.
There's a reasonable chance of that being the case here in Queens, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We haven't found any yet, so but you never know.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Cheers.